Do you still believe that the Devil's Tower in Wyoming was formed from the cooling of liquid hot magma? Aw, that's cute. But you know what might be even cuter is if you think this is the remains of a giant petrified tree. Well, what if I told you it wasn't created from either of those things, but the exact thing that just happened to crawl right under my car the other day? That's right, our friend the alligator, who I've had many experiences with this past year. Let me start off by saying I'm only teasing by saying it's cute that you think this is a giant petrified tree, because I once did too. But then I researched further and learned better. Second, like I mentioned, I've had crazy experiences with alligators this year. And it didn't even start here in Florida where this gator seemingly was stalking me. No, it started in Kennebunkport, Maine, where I found an alligator, petrified alligator, the size of a bus. And if you don't know, things used to be much bigger back in the day before the flood. Well, you got some research to do. Now, here's said gator in Kennebunkport, Maine. And it's hard to see somewhat here, but this head part here, and you can see its eye, its literal eye right here, and its snout here. That thing is the size of my Jeep Wrangler. Its head is just the size of my Jeep. And let me, in a second here, for my old post, I will show you in comparison here. Again, its snout and its eye, this was right out in the open, but I don't think anyone's seen it because I just have a knack for seeing these things. Now let's get to the Devil's Tower. Okay, here it is in all its glory. And when you zoom out, a picture begins to develop right here. You can see what appears to be the outline of a gator's head. I'm circling the entire thing here. So snout, here's even an eye, and the Devil's Tower is right there. But if you don't believe me, here's where you zoom in and can truly see the evidence of a gator's claw. And again, here would maybe be another gator head. And what I think's going on here is that these died stacked on top of each other. And I want to show you something. Here's one eye, and it looks like it would be missing an eye. And well, you know how they like to tell us the truth right in plain sight in the movies, and I couldn't help but remember the missing gator eye from Happy Gilmore. Missing eye, one eye, and missing eye. Okay, and here's the gator head, and remember I zoomed in on this gator-looking claw here? Well, there's that gator-looking claw compared to an actual gator's claw. And a more zoomed out view of the terrain, and again, a gator's arm with its claw. Well, so maybe you're believing there's actually a giant petrified gator there, but you're saying, how's that have to do with the Devil's Tower? Well, I'm so glad you asked. Let me show you. First, let me show you that it is slightly off center for where that gator would be. Okay, here was the gator's eye. So its eye, its snout, and its other eye would be here, but this looks a little off center. But again, that claw was up here, where this claw, or this gator's claw, looks like it should be down here, and you can kind of see maybe it would be. But what I think happened is that these gators got petrified in an instant, laying how sometimes gators lay. And well, sometimes gators have little prongs on their backs and on their necks. Prongs that look an awful lot like that. Again, that look an awful lot like that. Do you see the resemblance here? Well, if not, let me show you a little closer look of another type of horn right here. See how those horns have curvature to them? Curvature to them? Well, let me show you another look of what this looks like up close. See how the horns, of course this isn't a gator horn, but you get the picture. So like I said in the beginning, do you still think this is liquid hot magma that petrified? Or a giant petrified tree? Aw, that's cute. But of course, all this for entertainment purposes, you silly billies. I know there's no such thing as giant petrified animals. I mean, no, they wouldn't hide that from us to hide how things petrified because of the flood or how things used to be really giant back in the day, just like the Bible said. They would never want to hide that from us, to hide the truth of the Bible, just like they would never want to hide the firmament and giants and dragons to hide the truth of the Bible. Nope. Entertainment only, people. I'm a satire account.